Hi there, I'm Fernanda Paiva, bringing you some insights about the lunations. And today I want to talk to you about the new moon that's coming on the 1st of December 2024. So we have a new moon in Sagittarius. So this is happening at 9 degrees Sagittarius. So one of the main aspects of this new moon is a trine to Mars in Leo. So Mars is at 5 degrees, almost 6 degrees of Leo, and the new moon is happening at 9 degrees Sagittarius. Now, the key word for this new moon for me is inspiration. So I really want you to keep that in mind. So inspiration, inspiring, etc. We're really recently-ish came out from Scorpio season and that classic transition between Scorpio to Sagittarius, where there is a kind of a fresh breath of air. Again, we can kind of come out of the den and explore the horizon and explore our possibilities and the potentials as well, and look at the bigger picture of our lives and lessons and the things that we've been learning as well. So this new moon is really carrying this energy forward, because is the official beginning of Sagittarius season obviously is when the sun enters Sagittarius, which would have been about 9 days before. But I like to think about the new moon as a kind of an official kick in even further into the energy of the season. So this new moon is kind of carrying that flavor. Now, there are a few things here in the chart of this new moon that really gives me that sense of inspiration, but also challenge to bring this inspiration to fruition. All right. So the new moon is in trine to Mars in Leo, but is also in square to Saturn and Pisces. Yeah, so there's an applying square to Saturn and Pisces, and Saturn really wants us to be very serious about what we say we're gonna do, or what seeds are we really planting. Saturn wants us to water those seeds properly, to really tend to them, because otherwise nothing will come to fruition. So that's really part of the configuration. But first things first. So let me share with you the imagery, as usual. So the imagery for the Sabian symbol. So the Sabian symbol for this new moon, so 9 degrees Sagittarius, is a theatrical representation of a golden-haired goddess of opportunity. Opportunity, stress on the word opportunity. I love that word, and all the people out there that has a strong Sagittarius in their chart, they know what I'm talking about, or a strong Jupiter in their chart, because seeing things as opportunities is a very classic Sagittarian / Jupiterian flavor tendency. So I'm going to repeat here again, the Sabian symbol is a theatrical representation of a golden-haired goddess of opportunity. So that imagery for me does give me a sense of inspiration, a sense of everything is possible, a sense of what is coming to us can be very, very exciting, or what's around us can be very exciting as well. Now, another thing that called my attention, or another word here that called my attention in this imagery, is theatrical. Theatrical, because one of the major configurations of the chart of this new moon, and I have the chart in front of me as usual, is the trine to that Mars in Leo that I've mentioned. So the new moon is trine to Mars in Leo, and also trine to the North Node in Aries. So we have a grunt trine in fire, and that sense of healing our ability to express ourselves, healing our ability to be ourselves, to be more extroverted, to be more expressive, more creative. I think fire is a lot about the vision, the intuition that can have a glimpse of what's possible is a lot more future oriented. So a very different energy from the last new moon that we had, which was in Scorpio, and talked a lot about the past and moving on from the past and letting go of old wounds and things like that. Now this Grand Trine in fire is telling us to move forward, to move further into the future, into what's possible, into what we really want to manifest in our lives, what we really want to do. And that requires a creative vision that fire, the fire has such an ability with. And theatrical is a wonderful word for Leo as well. And, being flamboyant and expressive and playful as well. I think this new moon can be a great time to set intentions for inner child work. But inner child work, that's not really about sobbing and feeling the emotions of the wounded child, but of really giving space to that inner child to be playful. Really giving space for the inner child to dance, to play, to be silly, to experiment as well. And in that way, integrate ourselves a little bit further, bringing that element of ourselves to the forefront during this lunar cycle. So there's definitely something about that. Now, in terms of the chart, like I said, for me, inspiration is a key word here, but also challenging. All right. And the challenge is coming from that square to Saturn. So the new moon is at 9 degrees Sagittarius and the square is to Saturn at 12 Pisces. And Saturn is saying, hey, okay, very nice that you're having a vision, that you want to experiment and express yourself. But what are you going to do with it? How you're actually going to manifest this? Are you really going to bring this to reality or not? So there is a feeling there, and I think partly we could see that with the imagery of the Sabian symbol. So the theatrical representation could also be fake opportunities or opportunities that do not create anything tangible. So this is important to keep in mind with the square to Saturn, that you actually take seriously and that you actually see through the BS of what comes around or what presents itself to you, and think about what you actually want to commit. This can be given a hint by a different aspect in the chart here as well, which is Venus in Capricorn. So we have Venus at 23 degrees Capricorn in trine to Uranus in Taurus. So they're applying 1 degree separation here between them. And this could be a wonderful help in sieving through these opportunities, because it's about choosing the opportunities that are aligned with your values. Remember, the last full moon in Taurus was very much about the values and the sudden changes that would be challenging, or the things that you're doing that are not aligned with your core values. So now we have a trine between Venus and Taurus in earthy signs. So it's kind of giving us a hint to make wiser choices when it comes to the opportunities that might present themselves to us during this new moon. And one more thing, two more things that I want to say here. So one is obviously Pluto is already in Aquarius, and that's something that's there, that's a big shift. And obviously you need to look into that with greater detail to really explore this, but I wanted to give the heads up that's already happening. It happened towards the end of November. So Pluto is finally in Aquarius for good. So themes of transformation now are really connected to community and groups of people and friends. And also the other thing that I wanted to mention is Mercury in Sagittarius moving retrograde. So Mercury is retrograde during this new moon, and for me is again another time for reviewing, rethinking, and observing these opportunities. Mercury is retrograde and coming to oppose Jupiter again, and I think is a kind of we're sort of picking up a little bit on the opposition that we had during the full moon as well, with the big insights, the big ideas. Now we're reviewing them, and we're kind of taking some time to look inwards with these ideas. And obviously that matches the energy of a new moon, which is all about rest and going inwards, and is planting seeds. So there's still a feeling of silence. We're not taking the steps yet, but is a very promising new moon, is a very promising chart with that grand trine in fire. So I hope that you can make the most of these exciting potentials and opportunities with this new moon Sagittarius. And that's it. That's what I had to share with you. I hope you make the most, and take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. So bye bye now.